Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zai. You already know what time it is, man. But I don't know, dude. Like, I was tripping because a lot of stuff been going on social media, especially this stuff with P4K. And the homie sent me the clip and was like, "Hey, fool, like, what you think about this?" And I'm gonna be brutally honest, dog. When at the end of the day, it really has nothing to do with anything that is from this side. That all falls on other people to take care of. And to be honest, you know, I don't want to speak on like I'm a prophet or anything, but I can guarantee, I can pretty much guarantee what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna say this, for the people that don't know about P4K and a lot of the fools that got busted for allegedly not only pimping and pandering, but sex trafficking of minors. And then allegedly they went up in the house and found about 4 minors. So it's one of those things. It's pretty much set in stone. But I'm gonna tell you just from my point of view and how I know a lot of other people see it, especially when it's coming from this side. If you go in there with those type of charges, regardless of whether you actually took, you know, whether you actually participated or not, just the simple fact that that title is on your paper, it's all over for you. Like, regardless. And if you happen to survive the initial, you know, engagement, we'll call it that, then as far as like being anywhere that's really solid, be able to walk the yard, it just won't happen. I know I can just say for certain groups, you know what I mean, because I won't really get too detailed into the politics, but I can tell you for certain groups that, you know, I've been privy of knowing and participating in, you don't have to be convicted of it. While you still have that title, if you haven't beat that case, you're through. Now it's different. You take it to trial, or they happen to dismiss the case or something of that nature. Then, you know, it's water up under the bridge, without saying water up under the bridge, because people are still going to remember that, and people are also going to hold their own way of thinking. They might not necessarily bring it out and say, you know what, I know you did it, but it's always going to be in the back of their mind, because there's some people that are also upset at the fact that things of that nature are taking place with their family members, or so they're feeling some type of way. Or there's some people like me and a lot of the people just don't even like that title, period, and don't like anybody that has ever had that hanging over their head. And I've known fools that I was like real close with that had cases like that. Unfortunately, you know, they beat it, but it didn't matter, because while they were fighting the case, they weren't on the street. They were in the PC module with all the rapists and child molesters. So they pretty much condemned themselves in their career, period. Not saying that, you know, it's anything positive to have a career and being incarcerated all the time, but it's like, you know, apples and oranges. Like, you take the good with the bad. If you choose to participate in that life, it's what comes with the territory. You're either full-fledged with it or you give it up. But this is not even like prison politics. This is just somebody in general that know how people think. Like, you're always gonna have those fools that entertain and be like, well, that's the homie was solid, I don't believe he was gonna do it, I don't think he did it, this and that. You're always gonna have them, and you're gonna have those that are willing to go to bat for you on that. But at the end of the day, you can't be the river going against the ocean. No matter what faction you run with, it's a done deal. If you ran with the whites, you're gone. Like, they remove you from the yard the first minute. They don't care if you it's on your paperwork, it's controlling case, whatever, you're gone. They're on you. If you run with anything that's other Hispanic persuasion, you are gone. Like, off the back, you're gone. They ain't get you up, or you ain't. And most of the time, they're gonna try to get you good. They ain't trying to let you just get hit a couple of times and you walk up. No, they're trying to remove you because you got that charge on you. There is no real escaping that. And that's it. Like I said, it gets dismissed, but you got to think about the time that you in the county walking around and people know about your paperwork. Like, it's just one of those things. Without getting into it, it's just all bad. It's a bad look. Nobody really wants that paperwork. And don't get me wrong, stuff like this has taken place on the street, and this was always the going sentiment for certain fools that were going out with high-notes that were like a little bit younger than them. Like, you have fools that like 18 going out with like 17-year-olds, 16, and fools used to be like, you know, you're always gonna, like I said, you're gonna have them homies that ain't really tripping. They're tripping, but they ain't tripping, and I ask the homie whatever, because I've seen it firsthand. And when you're young, you don't trip off that shit, because it's just like, it ain't that far. And plus, you're a kid. You're not a grown man and been in a situation to where you know what happens to these type of people. But it was always the warning. Like, look, dude, like, you know, you're 18, dog, and she's whatever, got to be 17. You know what time it is, dog. So, you know, you do what you do, but just know that if you ever get busted, like the half I want to say statutory or anything of that nature, know you're through. There's no getting past it, no getting over it. If you don't beat the case, you're through. And 9 out of 10, the homies already, you know, it's just one of those things. So that's all I'm gonna say about P4K or whoever else is involved in this case. Because like I said, it ain't really have nothing to do with certain people's faction, even though it always bleeds over to certain people, especially if things ain't handled a certain way. But we won't go into all that. But you know, it's a trip because like I like to listen to what's his name, Who's, because he be making me laugh. He be on some like, and it just be funny, like, you know what I mean. And the thing is, I swear to God, I think I know the dude. Like, I think I know him. But you know, sometimes people look alike, so I don't want to put that out in the ether like, oh yeah, I know this dude and don't know him. Like, he just, him, Jay, they all look familiar. And I've been around and did enough juvenile hall and all these canine to run into a lot of people, at least especially from their hoods. But I like how you said it. Like, it's just, it's real. Like, you can't skate with those type of charges. And like I said, you're always gonna get them fools that's they're gonna sympathize with you, especially if you've been from the hood for a long time. They're gonna sympathize with you because they'll be like, you know, that's the homie. I don't believe he would do that. That fool's solid. But they're looking more at it from a gangbang aspect, not so much that that's somebody's daughter and she's not an adult. So basically, you whooping on her allegedly and making decisions for her. See, that's the type of stuff that gets people in trouble. I've never liked fools that have to, you know, pander or try to, you know, pimp out chicks that ain't even old enough to really wipe their ass right, you know what I mean? Because let's be honest, at a certain age, they ain't even doing shit right, you know what I mean? It's like, but I get it, it's a control thing. Now, as far as the case, when I've read up on certain things, I mean, I haven't seen the case factor, but I've seen the stuff that they've put out as far as like different females being tatted with different fools' names. And having a notoriety that dude had, especially being a rapper, it made it even worse. So I'm pretty much sure, especially the feds involved, that he's washed. And seeing that in the feds, everybody checks paper. That's all I'm gonna say on that, because I don't want to go too far into it, because like I said, it ain't really our business. Even though it is everybody that don't like chesters and dudes that, you know, sleep with underage females. Like, that's the lowest of the lowest. But that's all I'm gonna say on that. Anybody that has any type of charges like that, and especially if you hit the spots that are solid, you're through. That's all I'm gonna say. So guard your grill, knuckle up. Better keep your banger on you 24/7, and that ain't even gonna work, because I can guarantee you who's coming at you gonna be more than efficient at putting you out, or at least getting you removed from wherever you feel like you'll be comfortable at. And that's to anybody that take part in this charges. This should be a warning to everybody. You cannot skate on anything. Things always come to the light, especially if you don't stop. You continue to go down a certain rabbit hole. It's like, and this is not even to get into religion, but a lot of times people do things and you repent, you know what I mean? God forgive you. And a lot of times, as long as you ain't going down that route, you know what I mean? You see it all the time with gangbangers and people that were really drilling people in the street. You know, you get that, and you're like, you're forgiven, dog. So you're good. Just don't continue to do the same things. And usually people that don't live a good life, and they go on to be something, whatever it be, they stay out of jail. But this is a prime example. It's been going on for so long, allegedly, that eventually you're gonna get caught. You get too comfortable, you get too cocky, you flash your money on social media, you know, whatever it is, you know what I mean? It ain't worth your life. So, like, for me, I would always say, just refrain from doing stupid stuff. Just be one with yourself, dog. Do everything right. And then you got to think about it. Why would you want to do that? And you got, especially if you got any type of kids. I know I got kids, so, and I'll be damned if a fool ever try to do that to my daughter. You pay for it. Your family will pay for it. Anybody else I can take my anger out on will pay for it. But with that being said, you know, hopefully everybody get what they got coming to them. And for the ones that you know, handle their business, respects to you, because ain't nobody pimping a child deserve to walk around breathing air. And that's all I'm gonna say on that, man. Shout out to everybody. I don't upload as much. I'll be too busy doing other things, but I'll be back at you soon. And I just came from the gym, so I gotta go wash these cheeks. I'm out.